at the Open Door Learning Center at the Rondo Library, and I've been volunteering here for about 2 years.
Okay, I volunteered here since February of 2014. I went back to school to finish my undergrad degree at an older age, and I took a class, Human Rights and the Educated Citizen, and they required a volunteer component. And so I knew about hubs, and I came here as a volunteer, and I fell in love with the place, and I'm still here. So
I volunteer at the Rondo Library, and I have been volunteering for 6 months now, and before I volunteered for 1.5 years.
I am a tutor with the pre-beginning class, so it's the level 0 class. We call it ABC class, and I teach students from 6 to 8 p.m. every Wednesday.
I volunteer at the Hmong American Partnership, or HAP, and I've been volunteering for 3 months now.
I volunteer at the Workforce Center, but for the Literacy Council as a computer lab tutor, and I've been here for about 2 years.
I'm a volunteer at Hub Center, and I've been a volunteer here for 3 or 4 months now.
I'm an English teacher to students who are learning English as a second language, and I teach in the night classes.
my role is very varied. This summer session, I'm helping out in an ELL Level 3 class. I do a number of different things for the students, and just an aid to the teacher, you could say. The last 2 days, I have helped out 2 Chinese students who are only 2 weeks in this country, and they speak very little English. And I've just worked one-on-one with them to try and increase their level of sight words just to start with. And I also help out in a retail class. I supervise their store. Wherever there's a need, Ruth will call me and I come in.
I find their motivation and their passion really fulfilling. I think it's really inspiring to see adults working really hard, working their regular jobs, and then coming to class and giving all they have to do really basic things like being able to talk to their children's teacher, to order a meal at a restaurant, to have basic conversations with the people they see every day.
I think the thing I find the most rewarding is helping them accomplish something that is somewhat insurmountable for an older learner. We didn't grow up with computers. I kind of liked them, so I caught on quickly, but not everyone does. So it makes me feel really good when they can say, I did this, and not have someone looking at you, why can't you do this?
The students that I work with are very enthusiastic to learn, and they really value people spending time with them to help them improve their English, so it's very satisfying for that reason.
And I really like seeing them figure out their own creative ways to learn. They teach me more than I teach them sometimes.
I guess what I find most rewarding is I know reading opens so many doors for people, and it's really nice to feel like you're helping someone learn that skill and acquire it.
I really enjoy working with adults. I think that they're a really, really motivated group. You know, they're all there coming to class because they want to help their kids with their homework or get a better job or improve their English so they can go to school. And so they're all very, very motivated, and, you know, they're adults, so they have jobs and they're working and they're tired and they come to class, but they're still, you know, they want to be here and they have goals, and so it makes it really easy to teach a group that's so motivated. It's really fun.
So we're just going to be practicing reading this today. So to start, I'm going to read it once, and I just want you to listen and follow along. So Trish works in a school lunchroom. She helps prepare and serve the meals. So now I want you to start here and stop reading here.
Trish works in a school in a room. She helps prepare and service the meals.
Okay. This word is lunch.
Lunch, okay, lunchroom.
Yeah, lunch. And this word is meals.
Meals.
Yeah. Do you know what meals are?
Meals,
It's
meals.
like meals are like breakfast,
Oh,
lunch, dinner.
yeah.
Those are all meals.
Now, what do you think, Mai, if the president can no longer serve? Let's say the president dies. Let's say Barack Obama dies in office. Let's say he dies tomorrow. Not saying that he will, but let's just assume. Who becomes president, do you think?
John's Biden.
Yes, the vice president becomes president. Good. And now, let's say, heaven forbid, they both die tomorrow. Who becomes president? This is a hard one.
The Speaker, House.
Yes, that's great. Speaker of the House. And the Speaker of the House leads the House of Representatives. He's the leader of the House of Representatives.
The most rewarding thing I find is working with students from all over the world. My last count, I have met students from 19 different countries, and just hearing their stories, and I am so impressed with their level of commitment, starting all over again in a new country. Many of the students I've met have multiple degrees from their home country. Speak many languages, which most of us Americans do not. And some are here because of such terrible civil unrest. They've had to leave everything they know and are educated, but they start over again. So that's why I like working with them.
I guess just be open to the possibility that you will learn as much as you will teach. I think it's important to know that.
Have patience. I think that's probably the best. There are times you have to reteach the same person many, many times. And if you can just let them go at their own pace. I know just the basic learning of the mouse for me when I was beginning in the workforce. I'm left-handed. I was using a right-handed mouse by design, but I couldn't do it as quickly. I couldn't double-click quickly. I had to learn how to slow that down and repeat. And so it kind of taught me that there's some things where it's going to take a little bit longer.
Take a deep breath, open your minds and your hearts, and listen. Do more listening than talking, and you'll learn more than what you give. You come out of here with much more.
The advice that was most helpful for me when I was starting teaching English was to embrace the pause. For me, that was something that I had a lot of trouble with. I like to talk very quickly, and I always got nervous that I would ask a question and then I would want to explain it again because I wasn't sure if the students understood. And so that ended up just throwing so much more language at them that so they have to decode my first question and then my second question and then think of an answer. So it kind of compounds the issue. So just pausing a little bit longer after questions than what you're used to is really, really helpful. And then another thing that I found that was really useful is a lot of students have questions about vocabulary, and passing it back to the class and saying, what do you think? Or does anybody else know what this means? Because they're at a similar level, and so they're more likely to use words that the other students will understand, which is very, very helpful. And sometimes they will explain it wrong, and then you can kind of backtrack and say, that's close, but not quite. But that I found has been really, really helpful.
Have fun. It's a great experience. Just take the time to get to know people, get to know their culture, and you'll love it.
I would encourage new volunteers to reach out and explore things they might enjoy. There's a lot of rewarding experiences available, and I think people would be very enthusiastic just to field their questions and help them find a place where they may be able to contribute.